Have you ever stopped texting her and suddenly found yourself wondering, what's going through her mind? Does she think you're playing games, or is she silently questioning the future of your relationship? In this video, we're going to explore exactly what goes through her head when you stop texting and why your silence might be causing more tension than you realize. If you've ever been in a situation like this, keep watching, because the insights we'll share could change the way you approach communication in relationships. Texting has become one of the main ways we communicate in relationships. It's how we stay in touch, show we care, and sometimes even resolve issues. But what happens when you stop texting? Whether it's a break to clear your head or you're simply distracted by other things, the silence can have a big impact on how she feels. When you stop texting, it can leave her wondering what's going on, why you're not reaching out, and what it might mean for your relationship. In this video, we'll explore what she might be thinking when you stop texting and how to handle it in a way that maintains clarity and peace in your relationship. Number 1. The first thought. Why the silence? When you suddenly stop texting, her first instinct is likely going to be, did I do something wrong? This is especially true if the communication between you two was consistent before. Silence can be unsettling, and when there's no explanation for it, she starts to worry that something's gone awry in the relationship. She could be replaying every message you've sent, looking for something she said or did that might have made you pull away. This thought process can lead to confusion and self-doubt, leaving her wondering whether it's her fault or if you've simply lost interest. The key here is understanding that this reaction comes from a place of uncertainty. Most people, especially early in a relationship, crave reassurance and clarity. By recognizing this, you can manage your own behavior more thoughtfully, being mindful that your actions or inactions are directly affecting how she views the relationship. It's important to be aware of how your silence can create emotional tension and how you can mitigate that with clear, open communication when you're ready. Number 2. The fear of losing you. Another major thought she might be having is he losing interest in me? When you stop texting, especially if the relationship has been progressing well, she might start to panic. She could wonder whether something's changed in your feelings toward her. The fear of being left behind or discarded is real in any relationship, and for her, this fear might amplify the moment she notices you pulling away. This internal panic can lead to a sense of insecurity, making her question if you really care as much as she thought you did. It's important to acknowledge that her fear isn't just about the texting itself, it's about the potential loss of connection. When you stop texting, she's likely trying to assess if this is a sign of something bigger. Are you truly emotionally invested, or are you just losing interest in her? This fear of losing you can become consuming, especially if she's unsure of where she stands. That's why it's important to manage your communication thoughtfully, so she doesn't start interpreting your absence as a sign that you're no longer interested in her. Your actions should speak louder than your silence, and by giving her a clear understanding of why you've stopped texting without over-explaining, you can alleviate some of those fears. Number 3. Understanding the power of absence. Now, let's flip the coin and consider how absence can have a surprising impact. While she might be initially confused or anxious, your silence can also trigger a sense of longing and desire. She might start thinking, why isn't he texting me? Is he busy with something important, or is he pulling away? This feeling of absence often creates curiosity, and for many, curiosity breeds attraction. The key idea here is that space doesn't always signal a problem in the relationship. Sometimes it can enhance desire. When you step back for a while, she might realize just how much she values the connection, leading to a stronger emotional pull when you resume communication. Absence can make her miss you, but it also gives her the space to reflect on the relationship as a whole. That said, it's important not to use silence as a manipulation tactic, but rather as an opportunity to reassess and regain emotional clarity. By consciously creating space, you allow both of you to recharge, fostering a healthier dynamic when you re-engage. Number 4. How she might react. Playing it cool versus overthinking. While some women might act like they're perfectly fine with the silence, on the inside, they could be overthinking every detail. She might say things like, maybe I'm being too needy by texting him first. or I don't want to look desperate, but I really miss him. This internal conflict is common when someone feels uncertain about the relationship and isn't sure whether reaching out would make them seem too eager. On the surface, she might play it cool and act like she's not bothered, but in reality, she's probably trying to read between the lines and figure out your next move. For her, the silence might feel like a game, and the longer it goes on, the more her imagination can run wild. She might wonder if you've met someone else, if you're just not that into her anymore, or if there's something wrong with the relationship. While it's natural to want to avoid conflict or discomfort, you should remember that honesty is always the best policy. If you need space, communicate that clearly, without making her feel neglected. Be upfront about needing time to focus on other aspects of your life or just to regroup. It shows emotional maturity and helps to alleviate any confusion that may arise. Number 5. She might assume you're losing interest. When communication suddenly stops, she may interpret it as a sign that you're losing interest or have found someone else. People often jump to conclusions when they're left in the dark, and this uncertainty can stir up insecurity. Without consistent reassurance through text, she may question the direction of your relationship. While this assumption isn't always accurate, it's a common reaction, especially if there hasn't been a clear conversation about your reasons for the silence. It's crucial to understand that lack of communication can lead to misunderstandings that could harm the relationship. If you're truly interested, reassuring her and keeping the lines of communication open will go a long way in preventing unnecessary doubts. Number 6. How you should handle it. The key to handling this situation in a healthy way is balance. If you feel the need to step back from texting, make sure you explain why, especially if you've been in regular communication. A short, respectful message like, "I'm going to be focusing on some personal things for a bit, but I'll reach out soon," can go a long way in easing her mind. This sets clear expectations and prevents her from over-analyzing your silence. Also, remember that your actions should align with your words. If you say you need space, don't leave her hanging for weeks. When you do reconnect, make sure your messages are thoughtful and engaging, rather than just resuming communication as if nothing happened. Building a healthy rhythm of communication and respect for each other's space is essential to maintaining a balanced relationship. Now that you have a better understanding of what she might be thinking when you stop texting, it's crucial to stay mindful of how your actions or inactions can shape your relationship. Communication, even in silence, plays a powerful role in maintaining trust and connection. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with anyone who might benefit from these insights. Subscribe to the channel for more relationship tips and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay mindful, stay connected, and remember, relationships thrive on understanding and communication.